Hey there, welcome to EETTO. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And we got an opinion reply from Jordan. And I wanted to share it with you all. Jordan, if you happen to be watching this video, I tried clicking on the reply button in Google+. It took me back to my Facebook page where your comments were not posted whatsoever, and I'm allowing all public comments to be posted. So either I'm too much of a newbie at this, or I screwed up, or maybe you just intended the comment just for me. Anyway, I wanted to get back to you about your comments on Justin Trudeau substance or fluff video from last week. You make some really good points about the fact that the Senate is dominating all the media coverage right now. My mother actually has commented, and she's well into her 80s, but has always been a very big political geek, which is probably where I get it from, that for once she said, I've gone weeks without watching CNN. I just keep watching Power Play and CBC and Evan Solomon and all those guys. So you're right. The media has definitely jumped all over this, and I think part of it is the Canadian public are not accustomed to the Rob Ford-ish nation type of media coverage that we're getting. It's not that bad with the Senate, but nonetheless, when it comes to the actual Constitution and the wording of it and what chambers of Parliament have powers to do what and who reports to who and how a bill gets turned into law, I mean, sadly for me, I find that interesting. Probably most viewers and the Canadian public find it dead boring and would much rather talk about issues that are pertinent in the here and now, such as let's rein in the cell phone companies, as you said, Jordan, with respect to why we're locked into these 2 and 3 year contracts, and we pay the highest cell phone bills in the world, which is not something you mentioned, but I believe that is the case. And you look at what they're trying to focus on that actually makes a difference to your average Jane Doe and John Doe Canadian. It's their cell bills, it's their heating bills, it's all this other stuff, and job creation with the pipelines and the energy sector, which in a economy based on these very basic resources that our country has often fallen back on, you get into this boom and bust kind of cycle. But let's face it, we got to work with what we've got, and unemployment rates are higher than they ought to be. So they're doing what they can, I suppose. I'm trying to stay neutral here between conservatives and liberals. But you make another really good point with respect to Justin Trudeau, is the fact that we really have yet to see much in the way of policy or substance coming from him. In fact, in your notes here, as I'm reading here, you indicate you'd like to know more about Trudeau's plans for the economy, something for me to discuss next time. Well, I'd love to, if I knew what his thoughts were. I don't. But we know there's a policy convention coming up. Bad timing with the Olympics. No one's going to watch. Anyway, out of that, there ought to be some platforms put together. But as we all know, political parties, when they gather for these big powwows and love-ins, even when they document what policies they want, it still does not bind the leader or his government, if he forms one or she forms one, to actually follow up on those policies from the grassroots of the party. So that's just the way she goes. So to sum it up, I think, as I said before, I like Justin Trudeau. I don't see a ton of substance so far, but one observation I will make is Justin doesn't appear to be the type of politician or leader who's looking for that 10-second sound bite every single night on the news. when he opens his mouth, he's got something to say. And then he doesn't open his mouth for much of anything else. So, which is very different than the discourse going on, particularly in question period, between Tom Mulcair and the Prime Minister over the Senate, because Tom is trying to obviously milk this one for all he can to diminish the Prime Minister's credibility and the PMO. So that's being hammered at ad nauseum, let's face it. And I think you would agree with me, Jordan, that a lot of time is being consumed with the Senate when really there isn't a lot we can do. And so to give Harper credit, I think he's taken a thoughtful approach, though he's dragged it out an awful long time since he's been in power. But if I was in his shoes, I probably would have done the same thing, although many years ago I would have found out first, hey, from the experts, from the folks who are going to rule on this, what can I do? And what can't I do? And how do I go about doing what little I can do? At least then, when I put a policy together and try to put it through Parliament, I'm not going to be dealing with court battles and battles with the provinces for eternity. So I think Harper was wise to do that. I just wish he had done it 5 years ago. And the only reason I'm harping a bit on the Senate here is because A, I'm a geek, B, I love politics, and so yeah, this may be really boring, but the governance structure of our country as embedded in the Constitution, which we inherited from the BNA Act, which came from Great Britain, really is something we ought to understand and we ought to be aware of. My hope is that in the long run, with all of this focus on the Senate, as boring as it is, and with other more pressing matters, which I do believe the government is trying to focus on. It's just that this is getting, so blown up. It's shadowing a lot of these other things. But my hope is that in the long run, all of this hullabaloo over the Senate and who does what and what are the roles of different people and how does party loyalty play into it and blah, 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 that at the end of the day, we do wind up with a better institution. Enough nattering on the Senate from me, but I really want to thank you, Justin, for your comment. I'm sorry I wasn't able to reply right within the Facebook video thing, but I just couldn't figure it out. So hopefully you'll tune in again and watch this one. Anyway, all of you have a great day. You now have my opinion on Justin's opinion with respect to Justin Trudeau. Man, there's a lot. Sorry. Jordan's opinion. My apologies, Jordan. Anyway, you all have a great day. It's Friday, so have a fantastic weekend, and use your noggins a little bit and think of your own opinions and let me know. Okay? Subscribe, like, comment, dislike. I don't care. Do something. Have a great weekend. This has been EETTO. Have a great day.